Alright, we got this year's Solstice event. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Obviously, before you do anything, you definitely want to make sure you head to the tower, talk to EVGA, go ahead and get your initial set of Solstice armor for whatever character you plan on doing the event on, or at least prioritizing. Me personally, this year, I'm going to be focusing on my Hunter. My other two characters got really good armor as it is, triple hundreds across the board for most of the builds, but my Hunter's lacking. Anyways, when you go ahead and pick up your set of Solstice armor, you are going to get some initial silver leaves to turn into silver ash, so you can go ahead and slot the initial embers. Now, since we're on the subject of silver leaves, let's talk about the best ways to go about farming silver leaves. Now, first things first, the max you can hold in your inventory is 100. So if you're at 100, you're going to need to go do a bonfire bash or two and turn those leaves into ash. Now, I'm going to propose 2 spots for you to farm your silver leaves. The first one being the good old ghost mission. You just run that bad boy on classic, and then when you get to the fanatic boss at the very end, you just start that encounter and then wipe to get the checkpoint. Then when you get a buddy online, you go ahead and load up the checkpoint and then switch to your Solstice character, join your buddy, and then go ahead and blitz down the mission. It doesn't take very long. This is the classic version of the mission, so all the enemies fall over. You'll get 14 to 15 silver leaves, but one thing I want to let you guys know, in all the footage you're seeing the silver leaves drop for me, I am switching to the full set of Solstice armor that I got from Ava. At the bare minimum, you definitely want to have on your class item, but to be safe, I'm switching to the Solstice set. You could also run this mission solo because it is so easy, but you could also do just public events and lost sectors if you're truly solo. Though if you can just get one other person, you're going to maximize your time a lot, because the next method is one that we could not use last year. The first contact mission is the first mission of the Lightfall campaign. It is also a bit of a two-parter. The first part ends in you launching out of the pods and onto Neomuna. However, you get silver leaves when you enter these pods, and there's a checkpoint that you can save right after you kill the Tormentor. Deadass, bro. Now, you are going to have to manually get this checkpoint. You can't just have someone pass it to you, but once again, you're running it on the classic version, so everything falls over. Once again, get the checkpoint on a character you're not prioritizing getting the Solstice armor for, and then when you get to the very end and you oust the Tormentor, just go ahead, switch to your character that you're prioritizing the Solstice armor. For me, it's my Hunter, and then join back on your buddy. Once you join back, go ahead, just walk to the door, wait for the dialogue to go on, and the game will allow you to hop in the pods. Once you do so, boom, you're going to get 14 to 15 leaves. Once again, make sure you have on your Solstice set of armor, and then switch back to the character that has the checkpoint. You'll load back up, and you'll literally be in sprint distance to the finish line. Wait for your buddy to join back up on you, switch to your Solstice character, and repeat the process. One thing I do want to mention is if you go to load up the first contact mission, you may be loaded on Neomuna already. That's okay. Just complete the mission, and then when you go to load it up to get your checkpoint, you'll start at the very start. You'll see the cutscene of your Guardian on the ship in space. You'll be good to go. Just make your way up to the spot where you kill the Tormentor, and you're good. At this point, you're going to max out your silver leaves cap of 100 in about 12-15 minutes. Very fast and easy, and no effort required. Of course, while you're doing this, you definitely want to make sure you're comfy, and the sponsor of today's video, the people over at eWin, can help you out with that. So recently, my old Eureka gaming chair that I had definitely starting to see its age. There was a lot of wear and tear. A good bit of the handles had fallen off, really uncomfortable armrests, and the leather looked like my old car seat. It was a great chair, but needless to say, it was time for an upgrade. And that's where the kind people over at eWin Racing come in. They hit me up offering a free chair, and I was in a position where it was really hard to say no. And sometime later, it came in the mail.
So I just got home from the gym, and lo and behold, there is a package here for your boy for a gaming chair. Huge W.
They were kind enough to send me one of their Night Series gaming chairs. It's really comfy, and it holds up to 400 pounds, which I'm like 185, so we're good in that department. It has 2D armrests, and the polyurethane leather is very beautiful. It looks really awesome in the lights, especially in the LEDs, which I have in my room. So if you're in need of a chair, go ahead and hit up eWin Racing at the top link in the description, or use code Kree for 20% off at checkout. Alright, so you spend a whopping 15 minutes maxing out your silver leaves. Now you gotta go run some bonfire bashes to go ahead and turn those silver leaves into silver ashes. One thing I want to note, they took out your ability to summon your Sparrow in the EAZ when you're doing the bonfire bash. I don't know why. It just slows down the event. So maybe have on some eager edge swords, because you're not gonna be able to summon your Sparrow here anymore. You just can't. Thought I'd at least give you a heads up on that, because that's kind of lame. Now, before the boss spawns, the final Taken boss, that spawns at the end of the 10-minute timer, or when you and your fire team stoke the bonfire 30 times. Either way, I switched to the full Solstice set at the very end, right before he spawns, just to make sure. The boss doesn't have that much health. You can burst it down with a super fusion rifle. Then at the end, you'll hopefully be rewarded about 75 to 100 silver ash. And I believe the ratio from a single leaf to ash is 5 to 1. 1 silver leaf would get you 5 silver ash. And then of course, the bonfire is going to spew out some rewards. Keep in mind, the Solstice weapons are bad. Rocket was a huge, utter disappointment. You may like the hand cannon for PvP, but the shotgun's kind of meh as well. Sorry, Compass Rose. I'd also recommend splitting up from your teammates throughout the bonfire bash to try and get through it as fast as possible. But that's just me. Once you at least have 100 silver ash, that is enough to fully imbue a piece of Solstice armor, get the glow, re-roll it, get it maxed up and juiced. Now, of course, for each stage you apply your embers, there are 3. You are going to need kindling. 1 kindling for the first stage, 2 kindling for your shining embers, and then 3 kindling for the final embers, the ability to spec another stat on the armor when you re-roll it, and the whole 9 yards. And the way you go about getting this kindling is completing challenges on your event card. They're very easy, very basic. A lot of them you can do at the same time, so don't overthink it. It is a bit annoying that you can't get it from a better source, but it is what it is. And keep in mind, if you didn't play some of the previous Solstice events, you can go ahead and get your Flamekeeper title and guild it. If you're like me and you're low on titles, that could be a little bit helpful. Helpful in the sense that if you care about progressing your Guardian rank. I know some people could not care less about their Guardian rank, but I figured I would at least mention it for the people that do. For the people in the back, I see you, my boy! Another thing is, there are previous Solstice armor sets in the Eververse store, but the thing is, they're not cheap. They're not cheap, my boy. 6,000 bright dust per armor set. Obviously the justification of spending that is in the eyes of the beholder. I will give credit to last year's armor set. They had the glows going on. This year's armor set, what happened? You need a microscope to see the glows on this season's armor set, or this year's Solstice armor set. The glow is just so lacking this year. I don't know why. Last year it was in your face, the entire other side of the coin. But one thing I will recommend that is worth your bright dust is the new Solstice shader that is in the Eververse store right now. The refined Rebels shader. It is a black and gold shader for the most part, and it does look pretty fire. I'm gonna be showing it on a few armor sets in the background, just to give you guys a few examples on what it does look like, as well as a few weapons. Now, the reason why I say for the most part is because if you look at it on some of the armor, specifically the new dungeon armor set, the Of the Taken King armor set, you'll notice something. Bro, that looks straight like Glowhoo. Where's the black and gold? I like Glowhoo, but where's this blue coming from, bro? Where's the blue coming from? Overall, though, it's still a pretty good shader. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this year's Solstice event. I mean, it's the same, but, you know, put your 2 cents in the pot. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the very end. You are Giga Chad. And if you did and you haven't subscribed, please do it. Y'all be safe. See you in the next one.